But who better than me?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the casual stream with your host, Base the Kid. As always, please like and subscribe, share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, any and all in between. It's appreciated. As you know, I'm hoping that the light is okay. I actually need to get a new ring light. I haven't sorted that out yet. So I am using a supplementary light. But yeah, I'm just hoping that that's not the background. Everything's all right with everybody. But yo, haven't done anything since, when was it? Friday. Technically, Friday was like a test. It was a test stream more than anything else. So can't really like count that as any of the content from the channel. What was the last thing? I guess would have been the casual stream Tuesday last week, Monday. I don't know. It hasn't been a lot going on as of late, but hopefully we're going to ramp up a little bit through the next couple of weeks. And yeah, overall, thank you to everyone who's in the building. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way in. You know, get comfortable, find a nice seat, whether it's the couch, whether it's one of the comfy chairs, the swivel chairs, maybe even the hard plastic chairs if that's all you got. But make yourself as comfortable as possible. But we can talk some Canelo Berlanga. We can talk some Latino night, which we just got the confirmation of yesterday. We can talk about the face-off between Joshua Buatsi and Hutchinson, the one that just came out today, Liam Smith and what's his name, Josh Kelly. What else was on there? The Tyler Denny and Hamza Shiraz one, very respectful. So there's a lot that we can kind of talk about. Some of this stuff is probably going to make its way into an episode tomorrow. Friday, obviously, we got basis picks coming out. I mean, they shouldn't be too hard to do. Case in point, actually, there's a couple of decent shows on tonight. So if I can stay awake, I will actually take a look, because I'll tell you, I was at work and yeah, I was falling asleep at my desk from about 2 o'clock onwards, and just about managed to survive the rest of the day. But before we get started with the boxing talk, because you guys know I like to sort of take it a couple different places every now and again, I want to tell you about something that happened to me. What day are we? Wednesday. It happened yesterday. I was distraught. So as you guys know, from time to time, I'll put down a little bet. I got my little betting account that I have, and so I had put down a £10 bet, right? And it was for the Euros and like the South Asia qualifiers and all that stuff. So actually, I'm gonna get it up on my phone just so I give you guys the accurate information. Just before obviously we start proceedings, because sometimes it's fun to laugh at my pain just a little bit, because if I don't laugh, like I'll truly get like upset about these things. I can't lie. This one in particular like stung badly. So I had a bet, right, and there was like a bunch of teams. I can't remember all the teams that was on there. I can't even bother to get the full date range up. But yeah, so it was I think it was an 18 team bet, £10, and the bet itself would have got me just under $6,000 once it all cleared. So it started from Wrexham back on, I think it was, what day was that? I think it was Saturday. So went there, obviously England, Germany, Netherlands, all those teams. So all my teams basically got through, and it all was culminating on Friday, Monday evening. Now, Monday evening was a couple touch and go moments, but they all kind of came through as well. So from my £10, I was sitting on a cash out of about £1,000, give or take. There was about 1,100 or so. And then I had 3 matches left to play on Tuesday, okay? So I looked at the 3 matches, and in my head, I'm like, the first one, I'm nervous about the first one, but I think we're going to get there. I think it will be all right. it was China against Saudi Arabia, and I've basically followed the Chinese national team is in disarray. Like, got battered 7-0 by Japan the week before. Like, their league suffering, all kinds of things is happening in sort of the China political division. So I thought, okay, Saudi Arabia's on the ascendancy. This is a nice clean sweep. So I go there. Best believe, right? So China scored in, I think it was about 14 minutes. Now, I didn't actually see the goal, but it was an own goal. So I saw it on my phone, and I'm like, okay. So my cash out went from 1,100 down to about £500. I said, no, I'm gonna leave it because it's still early in the game. Worst case scenario, you cash out later on. 5 minutes later, Saudi Arabia get a man sent off. So they're 1-0 down and the man sent off. My cash out went from 500 down to like 189 or 190 pounds, something like that. I was like, raw. I was, nah, you know what? I gotta cut my losses now because I can't lose what's left there, innit? That 1-0 down to 10 men. I go back to my desk at work. About 5 minutes after I get back to my desk, Saudi Arabia score equalizer. Now I'm looking at this like, hold on a minute, you man got 10 men, but he scored the equalizer. Like, so I can't, at this point, I'm praying that they lose this game because I can't see anything, I can't have anything else go wrong here. China scored, they actually scored twice, and both goals disallowed for offside. Obviously, I'm not watching the game in real time. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it on my phone. We get to about the 93rd minute, and Saudi Arabia score a second goal to win the game 2-1 with 10 men. My second team that day was Oman and South Korea. I picked South Korea. South Korea won 3-1. Then it was Bahrain and Japan. I picked Japan. Japan won 5-0. So had I not cashed out, I would have had £6,000 sitting in my account now off of that nice little £10 bet. Instead, I had about £190. So yes, I made 19 times what my bet was, but that's not 569 times what my bet was, which is what it should have been. When I tell you I was sick for the entire evening yesterday, it was horrible because that money was gonna go towards something. I won't tell you guys what just yet because it still might happen, but when I tell you, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy in the slightest. Anyway, with that being said, let me go into the chat, see who's around, and we can get to this boxing talk. And later on, we can have another little casual talk on some other stuff. But let's see who's in the chat. Alright, shout out to man like Northbank #1 in the building today. Shout out to you, Bren. Hope you're good. Philip Answer in the building. #2, consistent top 3. Gotta love it. Man like Mulla, big ups to you. Thank you very much for being in attendance as always. Star Fox WR45E. By the way, Mulla, I watched that Rob Peace film. Yeah, film's cold still. Can't lie though. Based on the subject matter, and obviously you kind of know what happened a few months back, it wasn't the easiest thing to watch, especially with the way certain characters were, phased out, shall we say. It was a bit too close to home, but yeah, film's cold still. Shout out to Ahaja Selassie, man like Untraceable, shout out to you. Jonah31, big up. Dodge 172 in the building as well. G Chain in the building. Read some of the comments. The Cold War is over. Leonard didn't stomp Eddie out when he saw him. Yeah, he said, it was never personal, but he was talking like it was personal a few years ago. He said he got smack fire out of the man. I knew Leonard Ellaby was like short, but I didn't actually realize he was like sub 5'9". He looked he's probably about the same height as Floyd Mayweather. What, 5'7.5", 5'8"? And he was talking about he's gonna stomp the mud hole out of the 6'4" like Eddie Hearn, who has an actual amateur boxing background, like crazy. But yeah, Star Fox. Tony said, "Nah, I ain't doing the breakdown on my own." I mean, look, to be fair, there was no breakdown yesterday. I mean, let's be real. There was no fights that anyone would have seen. There was a couple cards. I still need to watch the most valuable prospects card that was on last week. There was I didn't get a chance to watch the York Hall card, so I couldn't even really comment on that. There was no point us doing it last week, or should I say yesterday. But there is still some news about breakdown. You know, at the end of this video, I think I'm going to drop the news on that, because we were supposed to announce something, and I'm sure we're going to just have to, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and get to it. Man like Raymond, hell, shout out to you. Bakes, what are your thoughts on Senior not managing Harlem anymore? What's that all about? I knew that he had changed management. I didn't actually realize that meant the Senior wasn't there, but I haven't really got a thought on it right now. I might have to wait and do a bit of research before I get back to you on that one. Philip, I see a pattern where, like, when promoters like Frank, Oscar, and Leonard talk about Eddie, it's always when he's never around. But when he's around, it's all pally. Well, yeah, some of them definitely, maybe not all of them. Exactly. While the energy when AJ all polite, I wish you and your family well. AJ back in USA. AJ is a bum. He didn't want it. Yeah, 100%. G chain base come like boxer getting frozen out the Saudi bag. Let's not even talk about that. Evening base. Evening to you, James, man. Isn't Eddie 6'5"? I mean, 6'4", 6'5". He's somewhere in between there. I don't know if he's a full blown 6'5", but he could be. He's a very tall guy. But yeah, now we've got all the sort of fun out of the way. It's been 12 minutes of just me drowning my sorrows. So let's get to the boxing talk. Now, I haven't actually watched the press conference from Canelo and Berlanga. I haven't purchased the pay-per-view, nor will I be doing so, because that entire card is trash. Even if those fights end up being fun, I don't need to part with £20 to watch it live. I've got a site that's very trustworthy. I will go to sleep, I will wake up in the morning, and I will watch it quite happily then. I may even stay off my phone, so we can so I can watch it and be surprised without seeing any of the results. Stay out of my WhatsApp group, stay off TwitterX, just watch it on the and just have a nice comfortable time. I'll probably the Saturday evening, I'll probably be a bit indisposed. I'll probably be going to the cemetery, 3-month anniversary on Saturday, so I reckon I'll probably be going there, light a little candle, have a little conversation, and just kind of keep things moving that way. So Canelo and that won't necessarily be top of my agenda, but yeah, after a good night's sleep, I'm pretty sure that I will wake up the following morning, have a look, do the weekend wrap, maybe even I might even do a live stream later on that night. You never know. Speaking of live streams and that, so I've decided that I'm gonna be doing a live stream for WWE Bad Blood at I think it's the end of October, like October I think it's like the 20 something. Let me check my calendar. What day is it? I think it's October the 26th or the October the 19th. It might be the 19th. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a watch along for that. Put something a little different on the channel, So I definitely will be keen to kind of get into that space. A few people have said that they want to do some of the events. I'm definitely going to be doing the big events. Hopefully none of them, the WrestleManias, the Royal Rumbles, hopefully they don't clash with big boxing events, and then I've got to make choices. But you guys know I'll make it work somehow. But yeah, guys, talk to me. What did anyone watch the press conference for Canelo and Berlanga, and Caleb Plant and McCumbee, Lara and Garcia, Rowley and what's his name, Garcia? All of those fights. Did anyone see that? Is it worth talking about? or was the highlight literally Eddie Hearn and Leonard Ellaby, like, getting together? Um, wasn't it a press conference yesterday? I'm sure that wasn't, or was that the grand arrivals? Because didn't they all face off against each other? Was that not the press up? If it's the grand arrivals, let me know. But if that's the case, what's people's thoughts about that? And also, does Canelo? Did anyone watch the glove? The what is it called? Glove off, the Prime episodes. And did they have that sense that Canelo is going to be going for the knockout in this fight? He always seems to want to go for the knockout when it comes to the people that are disrespectful, and for the most part, he seems to get it. So is that a bad omen for Edgar Berlanga, or has he got something locked away, like in the stash, in the top, that people don't know about? And is he going to shock the world? Like, what do people think? Is there a chance? Does Edgar Berlanga have a chance to do something in this fight, or is he just a knockout waiting to happen? Like, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Philip has confirmed it was the grand arrivals. Thank you very much. James Canelo said he wants to end it in the 8th round. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I definitely think he's coming with mean intentions. People say that he held Jaime Munguia up and stopped him from getting knocked out. I definitely don't think he's going to be doing that with Edgar. So this will be highly entertaining while it lasts. Just a shame I won't be watching it live. Also, what do you guys think the pay-per-view buys is going to be? Like, how much buys do you think this event's gonna generate? Let me see if I can add a separate light here. Let me see. Is that even necessary? It hasn't really done much, but I'll leave that up there for a bit. Joke is, I'm not actually as dark as this camera's making me look, but guys that have seen me in real life know that, yeah, I'm about a shade or two lighter than what you see on here. Mother thinks 350 globally. Okay, all right. I'm hoping, and this is not as any kind of hate towards Canelo Alvarez, because you guys know I support Canelo and his endeavors. He's done more than most, so he should get more leniency than most. But I'm hoping that it does Tank Davis numbers. I'm hoping it does like them 210, them 215 type numbers. So then he knows he can't get away with another Berlanga, and he's got to fight. I'm not saying he's got to fight a Benavidez or a Morel or anyone like that, but he just got to fight someone who's basically hasn't skipped the steps that Berlanga's been doing. I mean, if he's got a fight, like if he's got a fight in Mbile, cool. Diego Pacheco, I don't think Diego is right for that just yet, but I wouldn't accept Diego either. Do you know, funny enough, I think, who was it? It was Calix. So shout out to Calix if he's watching. But I remember when he said that Canelo, after the Berlanga fight, his next fight is going to be against, said he's going to fight Jake Paul. He goes, that'll be the only fight left to make for him, where he can make big money. So, and it's an interesting take. I think he might do it, especially because Floyd took on Logan. So it's going to be only right that like Canelo goes and takes on Jake. Jake could have to come back down in weight from his 220 that he's weighing about at the minute, or 225. He's going to have to come back down to about 200, 190, 195. And it will be interesting to see what happens if that were to happen. Now it would be a slightly harder task than the the Floyd and the Logan fight, only because, like, you know, at least Jake take boxing a lot more seriously, and he's got a bit more fundamentals to him. But Logan was the taller and the rangier guy, so yeah. I can see that being his next plot. If this flops, that's going to be his only thing he can do next, unless it's to face the winner of Undisputed at 175, or, you know, finally do the Benavidez fight. But again, I still don't think Benavidez and them are really claiming for that. You don't know my thoughts on that particular bout already, so I won't bore you with that. I read UFC have had to drop ticket prices. Yep, I saw that. So that could impact things, I think, is what you said here, North. Yeah, up against the UFC doesn't help. I'm hoping it does. Like I said, if it does about 215, Canelo's gonna be like, okay, I guess I got to fight someone difficult now. It might do better than the UFC. Okay. Canelo wins by KO in round 6. I can see actually being a bit later. I can, because Caleb Plant got knocked out in the 11th. Billy Joe was, I think, in the 8th. Wasn't Kovalev in the 9th for the 10th? I think it might be. I think it might go 9 or 10 rounds, potentially. I mean, I haven't even given the official predictions yet, but let's be real. I think Canelo's got this one wrapped up however it goes. I'll be doing the video just for consistency at this point, but I'm pretty certain that Canelo is gonna double Edgar, especially after maybe round 2. If Edgar comes out swinging, he might have some success in the first round, maybe the round 2. But if he comes out trying to jab his way in and uses IQ that he claims he's got and all that stuff, then yeah, I think he's in for trouble. I think he's just going to get beat up systematically round after round. But I'm going to actually go and do a bit of a film study after I finish this, and watch a bit of the old footage and see if I can see any keys to victory for either person. And I might actually make that a separate video and drop that before I do the picks, if I get enough time. Especially, I think I've got quite a clear day at work tomorrow, so if possible, I'm gonna see if I can get a video done there. Although now in October they're changing up the layouts in the office, so I used to have a floor all to myself where I could do my work and that, but now there's gonna be people up there, I think, in October, which is gonna mean that now I've got nowhere that I can just do these videos and just, you know, sort of bang them out quickly, like I've been doing recently, which is highly annoying. But obviously I can't say too much because it's my workplace. You know what I mean? Shout out to man like Beats in the building. Big ups to you. I watched the last video, man, with what was it, Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank, what's his name, Thomas, what was it, all the you know, names gone out of my head. I know that what's the brother's name? The British guy. Winkerbank Jim. Someone help me. No, not, was it Harold? No, not Harold Graham. The other guy. There was a next. Harold Graham was one, but there was a next one in there, outside of Winkerbank. Anyway, apologies. But yes, thank you. Anyway, Beats, brilliant work. I highly enjoyed that. I think that's no, it wasn't Prince Hamilton. Watson. I know he's not Winkerbank, but yeah, Michael Watson. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah. It was Watson, Graham, Eubank, and I think a little bit of Ben was in there as well. But yeah, that video, that was. I'm not gonna say some of your best work, because you've had some diamonds in there, but it was top draw. I've always got the notifications when Beats' videos drop. Like, I got notifications on everything, whether it's a video, whether it's a live stream. I always gain a lot of knowledge from that, because a lot of that comes from an era whereby I might have been watching boxing a little bit, but man wasn't like, you know, I was young. I wasn't fully immersed in things the way I am now. So I rely on beats a lot for some of the older historical context and that. Aaron Simpson, shout out to you. Hell, Graham video was eye-opening, yep, 100%. Oh, do you know what? All right, before I even start, actually, no, let me save it towards the end of the video, because I remember there was a time, I think Beats, and if Beats sticks around, I think he may want to contribute to this as well. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Let me save that for now. But I feel like someone's like biting styles on YouTube at the moment, and it doesn't seems a little bit nasty, especially for someone with such a big following. It feels like they're taking from people that they know won't get the same number of eyes and views. But we'll talk about that later. Man like Donovan Williams in the building, shout out to you. Bases office is an entire floor. No. Like there's 5 floors in the building. I'm on 1 floor, but there's the 5th floor currently is empty. Like maybe one of the team leaders might sit up there to do some work every now and again, but like it's clear. You can just go up there and do what you need and do what you want. So there was a little room around the back. That's why I've been doing my videos recently. But yeah, I just haven't. They're gonna put a team up there soon, and they're gonna change up the floors, and they're gonna make full use of all the floors again like they had before, which is annoying. So now I'm gonna have to resort to coming back home and doing videos here late night if I can't get into that room, and do them during like when I'm on my break and whatnot. Man like Hot Fires in the building, shout out to you each and every time. But yeah, okay, so can't really talk too much, I guess, about Canelo and Berlanga, seeing as the nothing really happened with that. Oh, that's a point. Let's talk about Ryan Garcia basically talking crazy about Terence Crawford. Basically said Terence Crawford ain't never beat nobody except a washed and faded Errol Spence. He's overhyped. He's not that good. He's not good. You know, Ryan said that he whoop him in the ring. He said the same thing about everyone from Robert Garcia's gym, you know, saying that I'll show you who the true Garcias are. All this, I mean, I know a lot of it is trolling to a degree, but are we looking at this like, is Ryan really looking to get himself just, you know, a lights out? Is he just looking to get his lights taken out? Because he's talking about certain people that ain't gonna just be about the back and forths on social media. We already know. We've seen Terence do things before whereby he's not taking those kind of chats lightly, especially if you're not going to get in the ring. I mean, it's mad. And him saying he's going after the entire Robert Garcia gym as well. Like it's a bit crazy. I mean, you need to decide what weight class you're going to campaign in first and stick to it after you come back from your ban. You know, boy, Luke, and shout out to you. Don't you ever work from home? Unfortunately, no. This new role I have, there is no working from home. I was hybrid in my last 3 jobs, not this one. I'm office based. Because I'm participant, I'm customer, candidate facing. So they said that there is a chance after when I'm done for my first 6 months that I can get 1 day working from home. I reckon they won't do it basically, but if that works, then yeah, I'll literally stockpile footage and then I'll just like edit stuff later on in the day. But that's something I've been doing recently. I've just been recording a bunch of different segments, and then just stockpiling them, and then like just recording, and then doing one video, uploading it, and then editing the next one and uploading it, and just doing that. So sometimes the stuff isn't the most up to date news, but that's kind of just something I've had to do to account for the lack of time that I've got to devote to everything outside of the live streams. And there probably will be a lot more live streams than episodes coming up soon, just because, again, as I said, it's a bit easier to fit in when I've just got a bit of time. It's easier just to throw on the camera and interact with everyone, as opposed to trying to do the segments and then do the editing and all that stuff, especially after gym and after 6, 7, 8 hour days, or being out of the house for 10 hours and having other duties to do. Yes, trust me, sometimes my desire and my motivational battery to do the episodes runs low, especially when there's certain bits of equipment that I'm still missing because it's either broken, hasn't arrived yet, or I haven't been able to buy it yet. Money needs to be spent on other things, etc. So yeah, start booking those meeting rooms based on calls. I wish it was that simple. Unfortunately, those rooms, if you have a participant that comes in and you need the room, the participant takes precedent, even if you've got the meeting room, or you're in the meeting room. So it's not as easy. It should be, but yeah, they don't run that way, I'm afraid. Let's not forget Ryan quit against Tank, 100%. And do you see that video where he tried to pass it off as, what did he say? He didn't say quit. He said that he tried to use another word. They say that I can't remember. I know someone's gonna have the quote. He said he tried to use a specific word. He didn't want to say quit. He said I think he said I yielded, or something like that. He tried to use a fancy word in there, but I can't remember from the video. He said I submitted or something. I tried to submit, or I forfeited, or whatever he said in that, and he was trying to just play it off. And then even with that with the Crawford thing, and he said, but who's Crawford ever beat? And then he added the words "that's known." He didn't say, it wasn't who's he beating, that's known. So basically, for it to count, they have to be a big name. But that's not how you measure the success or the talent of someone. It's not whether they're a big name, it's what their accomplishments are and what they've done in the ring. Sometimes you can get a big name that does that, but case in point, Ryan Garcia ain't done nothing in the ring, but is a big name. Tank has done more than Ryan, but again, very big name, but hasn't really proven anything else outside of that. So yeah. And Willie, you don't become 2-time undisputed by luck. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, you could definitely say that you can do it fortuitously if you are in weaker divisions. So maybe there can be a right timing component to it, but ultimately, yeah, to do it twice does require some level of talent, at least. Ed Whitcomb, Ryan needs to shut up and stay away from social media. Yep, there's that. Ryan needs to stay off the marching powder. There is definitely that as well. Is Crawford really on smoke outside the ring? Yes. On several occasions, he's pulled up on people outside the ring. I mean, I don't know how many times he actually threw hands, but there's certain times he's definitely, especially if it's anything to do with like family, he won't let that slide. He will check you when he sees you. I've seen footage of him do it before. So Bud doesn't get the respect he deserves for his 140 run. Yeah, and you know why? Because unfortunately, everyone on the 140 run, like as soon as he beat them, everything that they accomplished after, like they couldn't replicate. The only person who was actually able to, um, the only person I think that actually did anything after he beat him was Ricky Burns. I think he won a title again, and I think Julius Ndongo might have won a title again after he beat him. But then obviously his career just kind of went down the pan after that. You know, like Hostile was a very, very good win at the time when he beat him. The Gamboa win was an excellent win at the time when he beat him, when he was lauded to be the next best thing in boxing. Obviously, he was signed to Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent and all of that. What's his name? What's the is it Cuban? Something, I think his name was something Ruiz. I can't remember his name now. Hold on. That's what I got my phone for. All I remember, he was an amateur standout. Didn't quite make it in the pros, but again, he had a great record just before Crawford beat him. I think his name's Diaz, something Diaz. Is it Floyd Diaz? Felix Diaz, that's it. Yeah, Felix Diaz, Victor Postel, Ricky Burns, Gamboa, Ndongo, Jeff Horn. I know Jeff Horn became a champion again after he beat him, so that aged a bit better. Yeah, okay, Jose Benavidez weren't really nothing. Neither was Amir Khan. That Mean Machine, still, he's only ever lost 2 fights to him and Virgil Ortiz, so that's still a pretty good win. You know, it's not the right Kell Brook. You know, that wasn't a great one as such. Sean Porter was, that was still an impressive win, even though it was Sean's last match, so that it doesn't age as well because he retired straight after. Avanesian was Avanesian. Errol Spence obviously was where it was, but Madrimov, very good win, and that win is going to age tremendously because Madrimov will become a champion again, whether at 154 or 160. So that win will get the respect it deserves. That will age a lot better. But yeah. North Bank, yeah. That Burns win should get far, far more credit, 100%. What does this say about Tank if he fights Ryo at 140? Meanwhile, he seems hesitant to not want Haney at 140. Because I think he knows that Haney's style is all wrong for him. As frail as he may think Haney is, like, Haney won't give him the same opportunities that he wants to get off certain combinations, whereas Ryo might do. And I've no matter what he says, I think that he knows that spar that he had with Devin Haney was a lot harder than it needed to be. Whether he was ever hurt in there or what, like Haney had an engine and a gas rate that he just couldn't match. And yeah, in the ring, maybe that doesn't matter. And but you can tell that Haney, the one thing about Devin Haney, as much as people say, look, he ain't got no punch power, can't crack an egg, all that sort of stuff, he's got heart. You can't teach heart. You can train it maybe, but like if it's not there, it's hard to develop it. He's got heart. He's not he's not just gonna quit. He'll take his beating and he'll keep trying to come back like he did. I mean, me personally, I think I've told you lot this. I actually had him winning the Ryan Garcia fight. I know he got knocked down 3 times. He lost the quote unquote the fight, but the boxing match, I actually think he won. I think he won 8 rounds of that fight. I think Ryan only won the 3 rounds that he knocked him down in and the first round. Outside of that, I think Devin won the other 8. So that's 113, 112 on my scorecard. But I can understand, obviously, if people gave Ryan an additional round and then they had it the other way, 112, 113 to him. I think the 115, 111 card I thought was a bit excessive, but I guess think you can find another 3 rounds to give him for 7 rounds? Maybe. I didn't see it. I think the most is maybe 6 at most, and then obviously he will still win the fight based on that. But what would that be, like 114, 114, 111? Yeah. So, but yeah. But again, maybe that's just me giving Devin Haney consideration for every other round. But it just looked like he outlanded him in those rounds. He controlled those rounds for the most part. It's just the unfortunate that he got brutally beat up in the other 4. First round was a nightmare start, and then what was it? It was I think it was round 5, and then round 9, and then round 11. I think. Yeah, it wasn't nice to look at. But shout out to man like Dan, hardest working guy on Twitter, Dan the man, SE15 in the building. Shout out to you. Okay, since we're kind of over the Canelo stuff, like I said, I might do a video for that tomorrow, or maybe even Friday, maybe Saturday before I go out. I've got to put a bit more content on the channel. My numbers have severely, like, they've stagnated, and I don't know if it's just me, because I think some other people have complained about this, but whereas I was getting a steady increase of subscribers coming in, like nothing major, but it was, you know, I could count on at least maybe like 1 a day. They've stayed on the same number now for the last 2 to 3 weeks, and the level of videos hasn't really dropped that much. I'm still in the algorithms fairly well, so I don't know what's going on. I might have to make an appearance on another channel just to see if I can get a little bit of a boost. Get some new eyes on the product. Beats, it's not just you. Yeah, you know, Beats, I know you was complaining about that the other day as well. There's something going on. They're doing something which is stopping the traffic and they're stopping the traffic to all the channels that deserve it. Like your channel, your numbers ain't been growing the way they was growing for a little while, and that's a travesty. Like, the content's too good for the numbers not to be growing. So maybe it just means I got to do more and push out even more videos. Maybe I got to do a G-man and put out like 6 videos a day. I don't know where I'm going to find time to do that with everything else I have to do, but you know, maybe that's what I've got to do. Or maybe I'm just not liked enough. Who knows? And if that's the case, fine, I can accept that. But you know, the rest of it, yeah. And I remember Ade was saying a while ago, it does get you a little bit like demotivated when you're actually being consistent and you're doing work after work and you're putting out the content, and you know, you're sticking to your schedules, and things just don't move. But you know, at least that's why this is a hobby and not like a, you know, a full-time job, because then I might have to consider having to do something else as a full-time job. But yeah, while I'm on here now, so what I want to talk about, aside from the boxing stuff, and I wrote this tweet a little while ago. It was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, but obviously I saw it from beforehand. Now, first off, I've got no beef with Hatman. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with some of the things that he talks about, and he's definitely got this thing of, it's almost like he preempts what people are going to be mad about and then like trashes them before they've even said anything. Like, you might say, you've got some people who might think that I'm just wanting to be contrarian to everyone else, and it's like, no one's even said anything in your videos yet about this. Like, you just want to have a reason to have a go at someone, but that's his style. So cool. He almost like he cuts them off before they get a chance to argue. That's cool. But I need to know what I want with this recent music that he started putting in the videos. I saw him, he wrote a comment on one of his videos earlier on today, because someone, you know, was saying, oh look, I don't really, you know, I've been watching your videos for like 8 years and you're one of my favorite channels, but like the new stuff you're doing with these gifs and these silly sound effects and this music, like it doesn't really suit you. I don't really like it. I don't think a lot of people in your comments like it. Can we just get it back to how it used to be? Because you're the knowledge that we like to listen to. And I remember he wrote a comment that was a bit condescending to this person, and I think the person was a channel subscriber. I'm like, raw, like, so what? So people can't have an opinion on content. Obviously, you're providing this content for them. Like, they're the ones ultimately giving you your subs. They're the ones, they're the ones subscribed. They're the ones that's giving you your ad revenue by watching the videos. Could at least like be a little bit more, polite. And then someone else in the comments said, "Oh, so you're a bit of a hypocrite because you say that, oh, no one else can accept criticism or like critical thinking or constructive criticism, and here you are snapping at people in the comments for doing the same thing that you talk about in your videos." And I was like, okay, I just want to know where the music came from all of a sudden. Like, I don't know, like, why. He says, "Oh, this channel was stagnated, it needed a refresh." And that's what you went to. Like, it just feels like there's a bunch of different people that he's taken for. And like I said on Twitter, I'm not even saying it's me, because he may have never ever seen my channel, and I wouldn't be surprised. He'll probably do a video. If he did a video cussing me right now, it might even boost my numbers. It'd literally be a case of like, who is this person that's talking about me? But that being said, I'm pretty sure a lot of the bigger channels, they will start to take things from the smaller channels that they think either people ain't really watching that much or they can get away with it. And the music is definitely something that he's taken from someone else, whether it's me or whether it's a different content creator. That's definitely something that he's taken. The memes thing, someone else, I think shout out to Shiesty. I think she was on Twitter saying that she thinks he's taken some of his stuff from someone else. I can't remember the name that she gave. Obviously, yeah, look, sometimes you want to refresh things and try things out, but there are certain changes which are just like very blatant. And it's just, it's one of them ones you say, some of us ain't got much, like, so don't take the little what we got in it. And it's funny, the reason I actually, because I don't know if I ever told you like this in the videos, I'm sure if you've been on the channel long enough, you would have known. The reason I've even got music in my videos is it wasn't actually for anything to try and be different or anything like that. And shout out, obviously, Ring IQ was the original one with like background music from the videos that I was watching. Shout out to him. But I didn't even do that because of him or I thought that was a cool thing. I used to have a microphone, and it had a 3.5 millimeter jack, which I had to connect to a USB, a jack to USB extension to put into my old phone. And in the phone, it would hiss, and you could hear the hum in the background, in the lower tones of the video. The sound was all right, but you could just hear it. So that's when I started to put the background music to try and mask the humming. And eventually, obviously, I got a different adapter which worked a lot better. It plugged straight into the phone, but I just kept the music because it's like, okay, well, I've done it now, I'm just going to keep it. But that was the reason I done it. Like, I don't think the reason you're doing it is because it's just something you want to try. I think you've seen it work for someone else and you're saying, okay, let's try that, let's see what it is. Karma, shout out to Karma. Wait, who did that? I'm talking about the recent changes on the Hatman Strikes Back videos. There's a lot of changes which seem very much like they were taken from other channels, possibly less, channels with less profile that people won't notice as much. But I do know there's quite a lot of backlash in the comments sections of a lot of his videos. They're all saying, take the music out, we don't like it. We don't like it. And there's a lot that you'll see, like about 60-70% of the chat saying that. So hear that done for bass, you're a battle rapper, fam. Music is your thing. Well, battle rap is long in my past. But yes, rapper, artist, like all that stuff, yes, that was me. So music is something that I do. All the beats that you hear underneath a lot of the videos I put out is actually stuff that I wrote to and just never released, or I didn't get a chance to write to it when my old BlackBerry died, because it was supposed to be a part of an EP that I was putting out. And when I lost all the lyrics on that, I just decided not to do it. But yeah, there's certain beats you'll hear that are from tunes that I did release, or that were out on platforms, etc., etc. So yeah, I've got all the rights to them, hence why I'm never worried to use them, and I don't have to worry about copyrights. I don't have a problem with his background music. I mean, one thing I'll say, I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I know a lot of people do, but I think that he doesn't necessarily use the right beats for what he's saying. Certain times he's got beats that are a bit too. He'll be acting, he'll be ranting and having one of his critical moments, and he's got like bouncy love R&B hip hop slash music in the background. It's like they don't really suit what we're trying to get at. So I think maybe that might be something to consider if you're going to do it. At least make the music itself match the segments. But yeah, like I said, it's not a big thing. It's not something that anyone's really going to go to war over. It's just an observation. And like I said, I remember there was a time. I won't mention it, but I know that there was a time when someone else in this chat had an issue, or a perceived issue with something they believed of quote unquote biting of certain material. So what I'm saying is there is form for taking from others. That's what I'll say. But hey, it is what it is. All right, look, let's say let's do another sort of 5-10 minutes, because the Canelo stuff didn't even really go the way I was hoping it would. I didn't even realize that the presser didn't actually happen yet, the grand arrival, all that stuff. So let's just have general chit chat for the next sort of 5-10 minutes. Whatever you guys want to talk about, any questions, let's get them out. Nothing's off limits. Are we going to talk about Adam Azim and Ahara Davis? Adam saying that there was a date set for, when was it, the 5th of October at Brighton for Harlem Eubank, and Harlem said nah, I'm going to go in another direction. And he even said that the fight was going to be at catch weight of 143.5 pounds. So I mean, it's interesting stuff. I don't know who I believe in that scenario though. I do tend to believe Harlem Eubank a bit more than Adam Azim in the situation. Obviously waiting, and knowing that he's obviously needs to go to 147 pounds. So yeah, I don't know. Wait. O'Hara takes a dive just like his last one. You know full well that was not no dive. Unless you're saying that he intentionally got himself knocked out like that, but he got the brakes beaten off of him. Or are you saying he's going to be intentionally reckless again? Philip answer, yeah. See, the thing with Ring IQ's background music in the relay videos, it fits what he's ranting about. Yeah, 100%. I'm late. Did you already speak on the Brazil thing? I haven't mentioned that. Funny enough, I did see a bit of that for Monday Night Smoke. I watched Monday Night Smoke for about 20 minutes, but I was at the cinema. So I've just about I saw the bit where Travis was like, I'm not doing anything until I hear bass on it. But unfortunately, when he had said that, the film was literally just about to start. So I couldn't even run out and jump on the streams. I just kind of had to turn the phone off at that point. But yeah, I know they was talking about Daniel Dubois and the possible Brazil trip. And I think we spoke about that last week. So it's not something that I particularly want to go over again without any further evidence or background to the scenario, but I'm definitely sure that Eddie Hearn and and 258 management, where they was talking about why is Dubois not signed up to VADA. I mean, Brazil could have been a timely trip, and I just say could, and I leave it there. I'll put a little link in the chat in case anyone wants to jump on for the next 5-10 minutes. I'm quite happy to entertain a little bit of back and forth, little conversation. So let me, and Star Fox has put it here. So let's talk about it now. All right. So to let everyone know, the breakdown on Undefeated Podcast, it will be coming to an end after the Bivol versus Better Beef fight. Obviously there's a lot of things that's kind of going on with YouTube at the minute. I don't think the time necessarily is working. Obviously we get the diehards and stuff, but I think we were all expecting the numbers to sort of grow a bit more steadily than they have been. Like, we weren't expecting Monday Night Smoke numbers or pod numbers or anything like that, but we thought we'd be doing at least like sort of 600, 700, 800 views a week as a minimum, and it's kind of just sort of regressed a bit. I know YouTube is being YouTube, so it's gonna stop on there. But what we're doing is, like, basically we're going to do these last several, like the bigger shows that we've got now. We're going to get those out of the way. Hopefully those cause a bit of a bump. But this is where you guys come in. Everyone is watching now. I've been given permission by the team, if you guys want, and if I want to do it, the breakdown can be moved over to this channel. It can do the same time, Tuesdays at 9 o'clock, for a similar amount of time, an hour and a half. If you guys want the breakdown to continue, it can continue here on the Hardcore Casual channel. So yeah, what I might do, I might put up a poll in the community tab and just ask everyone if you want to see the breakdown continue. You can just click yes or no, and we'll have a look at it, obviously maybe the week before, see what people are saying, and if that's the case, then yeah, I'm more than happy to bring it over here and to keep delivering that content for you guys. Plus there's extra content for me for the channel as well. It would be around the same time, around 9 o'clock on a Tuesday. We may even be able to do it on a different day. We might be able to do it on a day that might be a bit more conducive to other people. If Tuesday is not necessarily a great one, maybe on Sunday, like straight after the fights, when things are a bit fresher in the mind, maybe another day, whatever. Just like, if it's something, like I said, if you guys are interested, I'll put the poll up. You guys can just think yes or no, and we can kind of make that work, and we can bring it over. Here. Have you thought about maybe introducing a call-in element for breakdown? I think people like getting engaged and calling in with their opinions. I mean, we did it. We did it for a couple of times, but the only times people ever called in was when, like, they had I'm not going to say a huge agenda, but when they had something that was very, very contrary to the show. But I'm quite happy to put there's been times, anytime that we don't have like a really packed show, I've always said, and Tony's always said, yeah, let's put a link in the chat, because we like to get a bit of that interaction. But certain times when you've got 8, 9 and 10, 11 fights to cover, we just ain't really got the time for it. So, but maybe what we might start doing, the breakdown might literally be, it might be based on 2 fights. Maybe it's like the main events from all the events, and maybe just like the co-main with a brief mention of any standout performances that happened, and then like a last 15 minutes call-in segment, or 20 minutes at the end call-in. I'm quite happy to do something like that. But again, we've got some time to think about it. But yeah, I thought the people needed to know that and know it from early so they can make plans or make whatever provisions they want to make. Shout out to the beauty of the pencil. Blessings to you. Greetings, base. A bit late to the party. Never apologize, man. You're here. That's all that's all I prefer. The fact that you're here and you smash that like button. I'm hoping. Is Spence advising Brian Norman? I don't know personally. I don't know what they're doing. I would assume that maybe there's some kind of a chat is happening, but yeah, I couldn't tell you full-heartedly. I would say just break down fewer fights. Yeah, I mean there is that as well. Picking up the chat. Shout out to Raw. Will you be going to the Boxer Pro? Unfortunately, no, I won't. I got the notice for it yesterday. It's a bit late for me. Remember, I'm office based at the minute, so being able to maneuver and get to those kind of events ain't as easy as it used to be. Even though, ironically enough, I've only got appointments in the morning. I think I've got one in the afternoon at like 1:30, and then I haven't really got much else for the rest of the day. But yeah, I just wouldn't be able to get down there in time. Like I said, being office based, you're not going to see me at a lot of these events. The only ones I'm really going to make the effort for and sacrifice the annual leave days or whatever will be like either like the big Saudi ones, preferably at outer house. I mean, outer net, sorry, because they come with free food. And at least I can get fed. But yeah, if it's not like those the really big ones, those events, probably chances are you won't see me at many of them unless I've got due notice and I can kind of maneuver a few bits and pieces here and there. I feel the calling defeats the breakdown premise. I mean, there is that, but having said that, I mean, look, if you give your breakdown and then someone else has their and then they give their opinion on what they saw in the fight or how they if they enjoyed them or whatnot, that doesn't then take away from the fact that you broke down the fight or spoke about the fight. And to be fair, the way that we do it nowadays, whereas before I used to try and go very in depth in how a person moved and how they maneuvered this person into this position and stuff like that, but because we obviously don't necessarily have the footage to be able to show certain things, and it's just a sort of a mishmash of whatever Tony puts together or what I choose to speak about. Sometimes it doesn't really, like, what I'm speaking about doesn't tie into what you're seeing on the screen. So we just kind of made a lot more of the a lot more sort of just general about sort of what we liked about the fight and what we didn't. But yeah, maybe when I bring it back, it might go a bit more technical again, a bit more in depth, and see if people prefer it that way. Maybe they would just want it casual, a bit like Monday Night Smoke-esque, but just with talking about all the fights that took place. We'll see. Always love you and Tony giving your breakdowns. Appreciate it. But like I said, there's no reason for it to stop. It may just have to change, move, and evolve elsewhere. Smash the like button. That's what I like to see. Obviously, there Tony's giving that good salute to Bren. You and Base always have brilliant takes on the fights. Yeah, when Tony's not destroying my audio. I can't lie. If it does stop, that is one thing that I will both miss but not miss it in equal measures at the exact same time. So I probably cancelled it out. But yeah. I got to rinse that free food at Turkey's expense, 100%. Especially you, now that you've got axe to grind with him. I definitely need the breakdown to continue. It's become part of the weekly plans, and who will be there to tell Tony he's on me. Yeah, I think it's gonna stick around. To be fair, I think it's gonna stick around. Madrimov and Boachuk are rumored to fight each other on Usyk's Fury under. Yep, I heard that rumor, and I will. if I can find a way to get over to, actually speaking of Saudi, I've put in an accreditation to go to the Bivol Better Beer fight. But imagine those accreditations, it wasn't this way before, but they're asking you for everything. They're asking you for all of your social media accounts. They're asking you for your passport number now, like your government name on the passport, and then whatever the act name you go by. Like, they're asking for a lot more stuff than they was doing before. They must be doing some major security checks for the people. So I don't know. I'm in two minds as to whether or not I want to provide them with all of that information. Some of it feels a bit needless, but I guess we'll wait and see. Latino night in Riyadh is even more pointless than the other events. Will be empty all night. Well, hopefully, I think they're going to put it in a smaller stadium. I don't think it's going to be in that big King Stadium that they have. They may create a smaller venue for that. But to be honest, but here's the thing though, and this is how you know that. Look, I've got a lot of love for Chris Billam-Smith. Yeah, I think he's one of the good guys, but he talks shit, because he said that his dream is that he wants to unify with Zerdo because he wants an America trip. He wants to fight in America. He wants to fight in Las Vegas. But you're accepting the fight in Saudi Arabia. You never spoke about the Saudi bag before. And to be honest, the only time you should be getting to the Saudi bag is if you're fighting Operatai, because that's the fight that people want to see. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with him now having a unification fight. It's cool. It's a unification. Zerdo is a very tough opponent, and while I haven't, I'm not giving official picks yet, I'm picking Zerdo to win. At this point in time, I'm picking Zerdo. And I know that Chris he's defied the odds on numerous occasions, and I know he's the naturally bigger guy, but ever since that Bivol loss, Zerdo has changed. He's become a much more technical fighter. He's become basically almost like a pressuring pure boxer, staying on the periphery, keeping himself safe, nice tight defense. So some of the tactics that like Chris Billam-Smith likes to do, I don't think he'll be able to get away with a lot of that stuff with Zerdo. And he's also quite physically strong himself. So the holding and the clinching, I don't think he's going to be able to do as much of that as he would hope, especially from that southpaw stance. So it would be interesting. But yeah, it's like that fight, if it was going to have the Latino nights, it should have been in LA or Vegas or San Diego or Phoenix, Arizona or something. To have that in Riyadh is, like you said, it is a bit pointless, but the card itself seems... The actual matchups, I like the matchups, if I'm going to be honest. And Turkey he's finally listening to the people. There's 4 fights on the card, possibly 5. There might be 5 fights on the card. Obviously, it's free to air. It's not going to be pay-per-view. But he's learning. We don't need 8 fight cards anymore, especially when they're all 10 and 12 rounders. So that I applaud him for. And hopefully now, if they can just start the card on Riyadh time earlier in the night, people don't have to be getting in the ring at 2:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. I've always said those Riyadh cards, the latest the people should be getting in the ring is maybe 12:30. If they say that, oh, that's too late or that's too early for the other markets, tough, let them adapt. The Japanese market ain't changing their times to adapt to the Brits and the Americans. The Saudis, no, if your time is 11:30, 12:30, whatever, if that's 2 hours earlier, okay, cool. The main event is 9:30 over here. Not a problem. That doesn't need to be an issue, especially when you're on the DAZN platform. So it's not like you're competing against anything else. People will choose to watch the fights if they want to. I applaud that. I love the two of you doing deep dive technical breakdowns. I love it when you guys mention something small that I didn't pick up on. Okay, I appreciate that. And Tony is allowed to shout on the breakdown too with October Red complaint. She fully won't watch if it comes over to my channel. I know that for a fact, especially if it's me and Tony. I might do rotations. It maybe breakdown might just be me with special guest co-hosts each week. Tony might be in the rotation, but it may not be me and him week in, week out. There's a lot of things to discuss. There's a lot of things we got to discuss. So who knows? They will scour your history to look for any unflattering opinions. Boy, there might be a few of those still. Although, to be fair, I've always been pretty positive about all of the Saudi Arabia and the Riyadh stuff. The only opinion I've ever said is they're too long, and they take they're too late in the night. That's the only thing. They shouldn't be pandering to markets outside of their own. Make people adapt to them if you're going to be putting on those events. That's the only thing I've really said. Latino night. What's next? Chocolate Sundays or Asian Wednesdays? Shout out to Skyliner. Corruption. I mean, maybe a Latino night in Saudi at Saudi time. Yeah, I know. It's funny, isn't it? And I can't lie. Is it just me? Now look, obviously, like, I won't say Latinos are quote unquote a race of people, but it's definitely like a dominion of. Doesn't that feel a bit like not even satirical? Doesn't it? Not racial, but doesn't it sound a little bit like offensive? Like, why would you have Latino night in Saudi Arabia when I'm pretty sure there's very few Latinos there? Like, it just sounds a bit like a bit of a appropriation. There we go. That's kind of what I was thinking. So not necessarily racial, but it sounds like a cultural appropriation type shtick. But I mean, the card's good. I hope Jai pulls up on them if he's in Riyadh still. He probably would have gone home by then. Jai don't like to stick around. Speaking of which, he messaged me 2 weeks ago and said if I want to do any interviews to holler him. I hollered him about some times. He hasn't got back to me. I know he's deep in training camp. I know he's got the new one, but I might have to call him after. Actually, no, I can't call. Wait, no, I can call him now because it will be early morning there. I might call him about 10 o'clock, 10:30. And see if I can arrange the interview, because we need an upper tile part 3 on the channel. The interviews I have with him are always good. I saw Ellaby and Hearn do a joint interview. They were like Phil Collins and Stevie Wonder, bosom buddies. Skyliner, wasn't it? Ain't no sunshine when tank's gone. I remember that. What's your 2-fight plan for Chisora? Mine is Char to become some sort of world champ, then right that wrong against Hellenius officially. I mean, Charles got that regular belt, but to be honest, I think Chisora's above getting a regular title at this point. But if he was going to do Char, that fight would have to be the last fight. I think that if my 2-fight plan would maybe be, it would be the Dillian White trilogy, and then if you're going to do Manuel Char, try and see if you can get that in maybe somewhere Africa or in Saudi, it's in the African coast, or in maybe that region, and maybe you could end on a regular world champion status or something like that. But to be totally honest, mine would be Dillian and Wilder in any order, whether it's Wilder first, then Dillian, or Dillian then Wilder. Actually, maybe do Wilder first, and then Dillian as the finale, because obviously there's a chance that Dillian could beat him again. And I don't know if you want to take a loss before you sail off into the sunset, so you might want the easier fight first. And say what you want about the right hand, but Wilder's food at this point, especially for someone like Chisora. Where is OTC? On Twitter. I saw him. He put up a post the other day, or responded to somebody. He looks like he's doing more of his football stuff at the minute. But yeah, I haven't seen him do anything in over a year almost. Did you see the face-off on Sky with Buatsi and Hutchinson? Found it boring. Hutchinson is annoying. Yeah, I watched it this morning on my way to the gym before I went to work. Yeah, I mean, Josh got vexed. Josh found that highly annoying. But I guess that's part of Hutchinson's game plan, isn't it? OTC was a character. Yeah, he probably just got tired of having to climb off the canvas. Tony, don't you think the Wembley show will also run late? I'm expecting to be there till 2ish. Well, the thing is, Wembley has a hard close of, I think it's like 11:45 or 12 o'clock. Now I know that Turkey said that he will pay the fine, because I think it's like £100,000 for every 15 minutes after the time that you're late. And Turkey said we will pay, but I don't think that they'll go past like 12:30. If I'm honest, I think they'll set the times to make sure that they don't go beyond that time. I don't think he's gonna want to pay like what, 500,000 and £1 million more, even though, yeah, okay, money's no object, doesn't mean you should just be throwing it away. Just follow the rules. It's not that difficult. We need OTC predictions back. Always help the bets. OTC backstab you back against. That's true. I mean, his betting average was awful, but he did make a lot of people a lot of money. So I got to rate him on that as well. Buatsi versus Hutchinson. No one has mentioned the racial undertones. I welcome it as it adds spice, and punching up Hutchinson will be more enjoyable to watch. Yeah, we just gotta hope that he actually does the job, like, because we put our faith in one of our other fellow South Londoners. It didn't go too well, so like we can't make it 2 for 2. Like Buatsi's got to get it done. OTC is trying to recover from the Chelsea meltdown. It makes no sense at all. Yeah. 100%, but you're right. There's quite a few Latinos over in Saudi. Yeah, so then that feels even more a bit like a cultural appropriation. Then, I mean, I don't see anywhere having a Saudi night, or just. But hey, if they did Latino nights in London, Vauxhall would be ram-packed. If they did Latino nights in London, I'll be pulling up. Especially if they're Caribbean Latino. Y'all know how I like my Caribbeans. Oh, Scott's going like the reggaeton nights in Vauxhall are banging every weekend. I ain't been to a reggaeton event in years. I don't go to events in London full stop. I go when I'm out of the country. I'll be in the club almost every night because the vibe's just different. Especially when you go to the islands. Different energy. But yeah, not really so much over here. But I might start going to some of those other events from the other cultures. And brunches, surprisingly, are actually slap a lot more than I was ever expecting. I always thought there was a women's thing, and then I went to a couple, and then I saw, oh, now I know why you is trying to party in the day. It makes sense. If Jai wasn't a boxer, I wonder what his career choice will be. In his eyes. Funny enough, I think he said he'd be a fisherman, or he'd do something to do with fishing. But I'll ask him. Let me go through the last set of comments. Let me get ready to exit. Seeing as no one wanted to jump on the stream. I never want to see Wilder in the ring. I'd like to see Chisora fight White, then the winner of Woodley versus Clark. Okay, that's interesting. The thing is, I want to see Wilder in the ring just so, like, obviously, look, we've seen that the mystique and all the talk about Wilder was overhyped and everything. But the one problem that we have is the fact that he's lost to Fury, who people believed to be a generational great. I mean, I don't, but yeah. But he's lost to Joseph Parker, former world champion, very much on the ascendancy. So that's a fight that's a loss that probably will age quite well. And he's lost to Zhang, who's obviously a former Olympic bronze medalist or silver medalist. Very heavy-handed and very well-respected and well-revered. I need him to lose to someone like a Derek Chisora, because like Derek is washed. He's fun to watch. He's a British legend and everything, but he's washed. So you lose to him, that properly shows the people how bad of a boxer you actually are and how much your career was managed over the years. Just for those people who still want to hold out hope that it was just off nights and the bronze bomber, blah blah blah. No. Get beat up by someone like Chisora, and then people will say, oh, okay, yeah, all that we believed in was definitely lies. No, Frank. Yeah, Wembley, strict close rules. Turkey can pay the fine, but no trains will be running. There's that as well. They have to consider the transport. So we can't do the whole, the 1-2 in the morning thing, because not everyone's going to be able to take Ubers. You're not going to have Ubers for 96,000 people. Those trains have to run. They have to be on those trains. Unless he pays the TfL to actually do overnight trains for the Jubilee line or something down to Stratford. But I don't know. Lucan, what is it about Thomas Hauser that triggers Eddie Hearn? He's not willing to entertain it because Thomas Hauser is like one of the biggest. I don't even know what to call him. I don't want to say he's not. I'm going to say he's a hater, but Thomas Hauser is a very incendiary character. He's like, and he basically, obviously, said a lot of quote unquote disrespectful things about Anthony Joshua, hence why Eddie Hearn, very loyal about Joshua and the cash cow and the meal ticket. You would expect him to not be happy and not want to do things with Hauser. And obviously Hauser also had things to say about Conor Benn and some other stuff, but his information always seems to be incorrect. So yeah. Is Luis Ortiz? No, Ortiz had a fight a few months back. And from what I remember, he was campaigning for another big fight. He fought in Colombia, I think, the other day. He ain't retired yet. Over 30s day parties base. Yeah, I hear it. Philip answered technical to leave, been in pension the last 15 years. You watching Spit? Yes, I will be watching that. Probably Monday next week. If not Monday, maybe Thursday. Or maybe Friday after. I might actually do... No, not Friday, sorry. Another Friday. Maybe I might do Wednesday after casual stream next week. But I won't be watching it this weekend. Hutchinson is looking to do what Billam Smith was doing to the Mandem right now. Chamberlain, Nicoli, Riapor. Yeah, I mean, Billam Smith's cleaned out the whole of it, London. Thus far, south and east, or southeast, if you're like me and that's where you live. It's not a nice feeling. Ortiz also gets veterans pay from his service in World War II. Rest in peace to James Earl Jones. He was such a legend. Yeah, man. Mr. Mufasa himself, Mr. Darth Vader, Mr. King Jaffe Joffa. Like, yeah. And so many more. But yes, rest in peace to Mr. James Earl Jones. The Jubilee runs 24 hours on a Saturday. Okay, thank you for that. He's going to have to pay for the others though, because the Jubilee can only take you so far. People still need to get to other places. Those overgrounds don't run 24 hour. You need to be able to make your connections. And the worst case scenario is going to be people are going to leave the stadium at 11 o'clock. Even if the main event hasn't even started, because they need to get on those trains and get home. So they got to figure it out. Yeah, 100%. They need those overground stations. Oh, there you go. You see? North Bank knows. 90,000 queuing for the Jubilee. There you go. Thank you. I didn't even see that before I made my comment. Wilder was overly hyped and masterfully managed. He's been exposed. I was never sold from the start. Big up to you. Canelo Berlanga press about to start now, just to let you know. Thank you very much. Well, look, with that being said, thank you to everyone who's tuned in tonight. It's been a good one. Hopefully we'll get to do more live streams over the course of this week. There will also be, don't forget, Fight Talk Live will be streaming this Sunday, talking about the stuff from Berlanga, Canelo, and anything leading up to Joshua and Dubois. So make sure you guys, if you're not signed up to the Fight Talk Live channel, make sure you guys subscribe over there and put on the notifications for when we go live there as well. But yeah, for right now, I appreciate you all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You can see, like, you see my banner underneath there, all that good stuff. I'm gonna leave that running while I close off. But yeah, it's the Hardcore Casual out.
Maybe I'ma make it, maybe I'm not. In time we'll see. But who better than me? I don't care if you agree. I ain't saying that I'm better than anyone, but who better than me?